A time-traveling pilot teams up with his younger self and his late father to come to terms with his past while saving the future. Hey, what's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another movie review, this time for the Netflix film original, The Adam Project. Now, this film is directed by Shawn Levy, who recently did Free Guy, and it does reunite Ryan Reynolds and Shawn Levy together, which I thought was an awesome film. If you guys haven't checked out Free Guy, definitely check it out when you guys can. And Shawn Levy is directing new episodes for Stranger Things coming up this year. And this film does star Ryan Reynolds as Big Adam, Walker Scobell as Young Adam, Mark Ruffalo as Lewis Reed, Jennifer Gardner as Ellie Reed, Zoe Saldana as Laura, and Catherine Keener as Maya Sorian, just to name a few. Alright guys, and I want to preface this review by saying that I did catch the trailer and it is on the channel, so I do have my reaction up there from about a week ago or so, and my initial thoughts were very, very low. I think it's with some of the subject nature, it seemed very, very recycled, and I'll get into what my final thoughts were after watching this film finally, if that changed or if it did remain the same. But I think I gave it a harsh criticism before I saw the movie, and I really shouldn't do that because I actually had a fun time with this movie. And I think if you guys do like sci-fi, adventure, time travel movies, something like Back to the Future, something like Butterfly Effect, I think you will really find some redeeming and fun qualities once again in this film. So I want to go over some of the things that I did enjoy or I thought worked for this film, The Adam Project, starting off with the chemistry between older Adam and younger Adam. I thought they had amazing chemistry. It's a huge part of this movie, especially the first act of this film, kind of developing what's going on, why things are happening, how things are happening. But we see huge character development not only from bigger Adam, who is coming from the future to warn his younger self about something that's about to happen, but younger Adam as well. We get to see what his life was in 2022. And I forgot to mention that older Adam, bigger Adam, is coming from the year 2050. So we know that some events have happened in the future, causing him to come back and possibly alter or change things for whatever reason. So I did enjoy that, the chemistry once again between those two. I thought it was almost bittersweet because it had me thinking, what would I go back and when would I go back to talk to my former self, to warn myself about, or kind of pass down some life lessons or wisdom or whatever that I've gained over my experience over the years. And this movie along the way definitely has those moments where it has you kind of thinking, what would you do in these situations? And I'll be honest, I am a sucker for these sci-fi time travel movies because once again, you put yourself in the shoes of these people that are tiptoeing either through the future or the past, and you really have to ask yourself if they do certain things, even as simple as just talking to someone to alter their way of thinking or alter which route they take to go home, you are possibly changing their future and decision making there on forth for whatever reason, and it could lead to something possibly catastrophic. So throughout this movie, I was kind of questioning that, like, hey, maybe they shouldn't be doing this, maybe they shouldn't be doing that. And yeah, even other characters tell them, hey, you guys aren't supposed to be here. You guys need to go back. You guys are really messing with the time continuum. All right, now another thing I really appreciated other than the chemistry between some of the characters was the special moments that we got that almost felt like a Back to the Future moment, like I had mentioned before, where you do get a lot of similarities, obviously. I mean, it's a huge topic that we're talking about. Time travel. Yeah, I know it's easy to think, you know, Back to the Future, Looper, Butterfly Effect, once again, or whatever have you. Movies that came before and films that will continue to keep happening, but this one big subject of time travel is something that's a free-for-all. No one owns this like it's a subgenre of movie, but we have so many damn movies out there about this subject. But I really think what sets this one apart from movies that I have seen about time travel is the emotion to some of these characters, and that jumps to one of my greatest chemistry characters in this film, Laura and Adam, and I loved their story arc, man. They had a quick interaction. I mean, Zoe Saldana is in the trailer, but she's not in it as much as the Adams are, I will just say that. But when she was on screen, she gave an amazing performance. There was even some scenes that definitely gave me flashbacks to Avatar. Now, I know she was, you know, completely in blue and CGI and whatnot, but she is a standout actress. She still acts her ass off, and there are, once again, a lot of emotional scenes. scenes where, unlike older Adam, he thinks he's doing what's right, but she knows that logically he's doing things that are once again possibly going to change the future for everyone. And I thought their scenes together were fantastic. I thought they had a great story arc. I believed their love story on camera, and I love the outcome of it ultimately. All right, guys, now let's get to the action sequences, because that was kind of my biggest gripe when I was watching this trailer. So it's kind of a pro and con, because I don't know if this is a certain style of filmmaking, but it was very quick cut edit, not close up like in Taken with Liam Neeson, but it was very, very jarring at times. And yeah, I'm watching it on a huge 75-inch screen TV, so maybe this all depends on what you're watching it on, but I just got really jarred up and disoriented in a few scenes, but I thought it was cool. I thought for the most part, a lot of the sci-fi futuristic gadgets that we did get and some of the enemies that we did have to go through looked and felt cool. I mean, sometimes they can look very plasticky and just really fake when it comes to futuristic stuff, but I thought they did a good job with handling what life would possibly be like or look like in the future 30 years from now. All right, now let's get to Mark Ruffalo as Lewis Reed. Oh man, I think his performance was the best in this film, and we don't even get to see him that much in this movie, but when he came on screen, good Lord, give this man an Oscar. He really had a lot of heart when it came to his scenes in this film. So much emotion of passion and anger and love for his son, and sons, I guess I could say, because younger Adam and bigger Adam, but you really believed him as a scientist, someone that really truly wholeheartedly wanted to figure out this time travel, but also balance being an amazing father. And once again, like Laura and Adam, I think Louis and the Adams really had some amazing chemistry, especially in that fourth act, and it had me dripping from my eye ducts, I will say that. All right, now Catherine Keener as Maya Sorian. I love Catherine Keener. Everything I've seen her in is stellar as far as performance-wise. Her character in this movie was pretty cliche. I mean, she is the cliche bad guy, bad woman in this film, and it was pretty cookie cutter, nothing really to write home about. I mean, she had her objective, no real backstory of why she was doing what she was doing. At least once they explained it, it was just like, okay, quick bad guy story. That's just pretty much it. But once again, her performance was fine. But one thing I didn't really like that kind of centers around her is there is some dodgy CGI and deepfake technology. I will just say that. I know it's not shown in the trailer. It's not much of a spoiler, but there are certain deepfake moments surrounding a character in the third act of this movie that really sucked us out. Both Laura and I, not Laura in the movie, but Laura, my girlfriend, watching this on our couch, where we were like, what is going on? The budget definitely skimped, and this was deepfake technology. We're not talking about CGI here, guys, and it looked very, very dodgy and out of place. And once again, it sucked us out of the movie. It would be different if they showed it maybe for a minute or so, but they showed it for a continuous 15 minutes chunk of the fourth act of the movie, and it was once again very distracting. And also leading to another thing I didn't like, where some of the scenes were a bit wacky and overdone in Ryan Reynolds fashion. And yeah, I understand this is Mr. Deadpool. That's why I'm wearing this hat, because there are a lot of references, by the way, to Marvel and Deadpool, which I thought was an amazing homage. I think Ryan Reynolds has done that a few times. I could be wrong, but I did appreciate it, especially being a huge Deadpool fan. So it was a nice fan service, but there were scenes that went on a little too long with the wacky dialogue between young Adam and older Adam that definitely just seemed out of place. Yeah, I think this movie's only about an hour, 40 minutes or so, but they could have definitely trimmed off about 5 minutes of dialogue to keep the pacing going a lot stronger than what it was. But all in all, I had a pretty good time with this movie. I like the subject nature. Yeah, once again, it's nothing groundbreaking. Back to the Future, even Terminator vibes. I mean, they even reference the Terminator in this film. So I think it's very self-aware at times, and it's not trying to be anything different in the time travel genre. So if you guys are very, very nitpicky, you guys might give it a lower score than I did. And that being said, I'm going to give The Adam Project a solid 3 out of 5, saying I definitely recommend you guys check it out if, once again, you're into sci-fi and action films. All right, Flix Talkers, are you going to see The Adam Project? Let me know down in the comments below. Have you seen it already? And if so, what did you guys rank it out of 5? And if you guys did appreciate my review and thoughts, let me know by liking the video and consider subscribing today for so much more. All right, guys, till next one, I'm gone. Peace.